welcome to episode 9 of the Very Metal Diary of Cleo Howard. Thursday, 1st of May. Miss Douglas, our PE teacher, saw me chatting to Barry today by the sports centre, and she made me help her carry some balls. If it wasn't for Barry, I'd be nowhere near the sports centre and safe from ball-based errands. Miss Douglas said I should find a sport I like, so that when I leave school I can stay healthy. I thought of asking her if shagging was a sport, but obviously I didn't. I escaped from her clutches as soon as I could. How annoying are Blur? I shall tell you, dear diary. They are very annoying, and song 2 is especially objectionable. I only mention them at all because they assaulted my ears in HMV today when I was buying Wasp's new album. It's called Kill Fuck Die. The first track really reminds me of 9 Inch Nails' Head Like a Hole, which I guess is what they're going for now they've gone industrial. There was a cute guy in HMV, wearing nail varnish and eyeliner. My heart obviously belongs to another dear diary, but I shall tell Jenny about him. This evening I read some of the Brownie Guide handbook. Some of it's quite good, and we could do with people having a more responsible attitude, and lending a hand when it's needed, and tidying up after ourselves. But some of it goes a bit too far. A brownie always thinks of others before herself. Always, like 100% of the time. This could lead to some very angry women who never get what they want. Friday, 2nd of May. We have a new Prime Minister. Boring John Major has been replaced by Tony Blair, although I'd rather that Lemmy from Motorhead was in charge. Maybe when I'm old enough to vote, there will be some more appealing Prime Minister choices. Today was Barry's last day doing building work near the sports centre. He said, "See you around, Red." School is now mainly monotony. There is the occasional bright glimpse of T-Reg. Jenny gave me a dilemma today. Would I rather grow C-cup boobs and a moustache, or remain a non-mustachioed A-cup? I asked her some clarifying questions. Would I be growing a big moustache, or just a light one? Her answer was that it would be the same as T-Reg's. My next question is, are moustaches for women the next big thing? Because I really don't think it's going to be fake tan like Mum's magazine says. Jenny's answer was no, moustaches for women are not going to be the next big thing. After a while, I decided I'd rather be small of breast and hairless of top lip. Saturday, 3rd of May. We've won the Eurovision Song Contest. Well, I say we, dear diary, but I mean England. I had nothing to do with it. If I'd have been involved, we'd have entered with a metal song. The Green Man tonight was brilliant. There was T-Reg, Simon the Raspberry, Bob, Lizzie, and of course regular customers, me, Ian and Jenny. I like having a boozer where I can be a regular. It makes me feel like one of the flat cap extras in Coronation Street, or like I'm in a perkier version of Cheers. Those American Friends can keep their coffee shop. Everyone except me, Jenny and Ian seems to love Friends. Tonight, Lizzie put 3 songs from Kiss's Crazy Nights album on the jukebox. She is obsessed with Gene Simmons. She was wearing her Kiss Army t-shirt too. There is no need to ask who is the top of her God's list. She said that Ella wasn't out tonight because she's on a date with a man with tattoos. Everyone I know wants a tattoo when they're older. Jenny wants a flock of bats. Ian wants a flaming V guitar. Lizzie wants a rose, like Paul Stanley from Kiss. Simon the Raspberry wants a big black tribal tattoo, like Kerry King's got. T-Reg wants a pin-up girl with her tits out. Bob wants a demon. And I'm not sure yet what I want. One of my favourite things in the world is Viennetta, but I don't think this would make a good tattoo. But then again, it might. I think that Viennetta, when it's whole and when you view it sideways, is really rather beautiful. Sunday, 4th of May. I cleaned Mustaine, my goldfish, out this morning. I put him in the bath while I washed out his bowl. He used just a tiny bit of the available space to swim in. He sort of reminded me of Mum. If Mum wanted to, she could work somewhere else instead of moaning about her job at the supermarket all the time. She could wear clothes that aren't beige. She could do fun stuff at weekends instead of housework and watching telly. Monday, 5th of May. Today is a bank holiday. Jenny and her mum have gone shopping in Henley. Ian came round to my house. Mum was at work doing overtime. I made beans on toast for us with marmite on the toast and some cheese on top. It was lush. I'm still rereading the Brownie Guide handbook. I enjoyed and may put into practice the bit about being friendly, but not the bit about collecting twigs. I really must go to the library. There's nothing to read in the house except Mum's magazines or her soppy novels. Tuesday, 6th of May. Today is Mum's birthday. I made her a card and I bought her some Ferrero Rocher. She never knows how to say the middle bit of Ferrero Rocher and goes on and on forever, calling them Ferrero Rocher. Mrs. Butler bought Mum some special roses from her garden. I made Mum and Mrs. Butler a cup of tea. I asked Mum if she wanted me to find a vase. Mrs. Butler told me that the peach-coloured roses were called Warm Wishes and the pink-coloured ones were called Savoy Hotel. Mrs. Butler also told me, for about the third time, that there is a rose called Cleopatra, and it's red and sort of yellow as well. Because it was Mum's birthday, I cooked us macaroni cheese for dinner. I also cooked us some alpha bites. I spat Mum and Cleo with the alpha bites and then piled the other letters on the side of our plates. I washed up the plates and the saucepan. I've been a model daughter today. It's been quite tiring. Wednesday, 7th of May. Shot let me her Tank Girl Get Knotted graphic novel today. This is not a comic, dear diary, according to Moby Dick, who gets very grumpy about these things. After school, me and Ian listened to Gav's Anti-Nowhere League record. I think if the Sex Pistols had practiced more, they could be as good as the Anti-Nowhere League. There is a Pete Steele poster in Kerrang. It's of him on the phone, looking really lush. I keep looking at it and imagine him on the phone to me saying, "Just come on over any time. I like ginger women the best." Although, if he did phone me, I just know Mum would be listening in and I'd be too shy to say anything. I suppose if it was Pete Steele, I could force myself, but then my voice would go all high and squeaky. The problem is, the phone is in the hallway and I'm not allowed one in my room. I've asked a million times and I've said I'd only use it very occasionally. Maybe I should ask 1,000,001 times. Thursday, the 8th of May. Moby Dick told me and Jenny that heavy metal is for Neanderthal men today. This is fine with me. I like tall men. I had tea, well, it's called dinner around there, at Jenny's house. We had mushroom chow mein that Jenny's mum Pam had made herself. It was really nice. I didn't think you could make Chinese food yourself. Friday, 9th of May. Ian gave me a dilemma today. He said, if you had to give up either potatoes or cheese forever, like absolutely forever, which one would it be? I'm thinking about this. It's not something you can rush. I've decided I need to be more like Tank Girl. If she fancies someone, she snogs them, even if they're a kangaroo. Unfortunately, I'm more like Camp Koala. If I was Tank Girl, then Jenny could be Jet Girl. How come the Spice Girls are so popular, and yet Tank Girl's brilliance goes unnoticed? I might get the same tattoo as Tank Girl, as well as my side view of a Viennetta tattoo that I've decided I'm having when I'm 18. We did reproduction in biology today. Well, I mean we studied it, not actually did it. Baggers has got a very laissez-faire approach to discipline, but that would be a bit much even for him. At the end of the lesson, he asked if we had any questions. And no one put their hand up, because biology is last thing on a Friday, except for Mark Dobbs. He asked, is it possible to wear your willy out? Baggers said, there have been no reported cases, but I don't suggest you make that your weekend homework, Dobbs. And then everybody laughed. Saturday, 10th of May. Boys at school think you're either frigid or a slag, and there's no in between, but I am in between. With the right man, I could be as frisky as Britt Ekland in The Wicker Man. I can't decide if I would give up potatoes or cheese forever. Cheesy chips is one of the best meals in the known universe, and probably the unknown universe too. If Marvin from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy had cheesy chips, then it'd probably cure him of his misery. It certainly usually works for me. Sunday, the 11th of May. Today is Dad Day. Nanny Howard has gone on a coach trip to see where they film Emmerdale Farm with a load of other old people, so Dad and I went to TFI Fridays together. I had a chicken burger and Dad had steak. We amused each other with elephant jokes. We haven't done this for years. Here are some of our best. What's big, grey, and wears glass slippers? Cinderelephant. What's grey and highly dangerous? An elephant with a machine gun. Why do elephants paint the soles of their feet yellow? So they can hide upside down in the butter. Why do elephants paint the soles of their feet red? So they can hide in cherry trees. I didn't tell Dad this one because it's too rude. What's grey and comes in buckets? An elephant. Monday, 12th of May. Natalie West asked to listen to some of Ian's music today in maths. He let her listen to Megadeth's Countdown to Extinction. She gave it back after 5 minutes, saying she didn't exactly like it, but she didn't hate it either, she just wanted to hear it for herself. Natalie is one of the best looking girls in our year, but somehow everyone likes her because she's not bitchy. She dresses in quite a trendy way, but she doesn't slag off how other people dress, not like Karina Norman, who does it constantly. Karina will even be mean about what the kids who are in care and who have to come to school by taxi every day wear. The rest of us, we sort of know that they don't get a whole lot of choice, and so we don't judge them based on what they wear. Last year, Mum kept threatening to put me into care. I had the contingency plan of living at Nanny Howard's, but I didn't tell Mum about this plan because I wasn't sure how serious she was. Some days she seemed mega serious, and then other days she was okay again, and she said that she didn't know what she'd do without me. On the way home, I pointed out to Ian that he'd taken Natalie's metal virginity. He'd popped her thrash cherry. He was delighted. What I didn't point out was that it had only lasted 5 minutes and that she had given it a very lukewarm reception. Tuesday, 13th of May. Donna called Karina Norman a trifling hoe in French today. Karina said that she'd heard that Donna's cousin Letitia went to the cinema with 2 boys and went skiing with them. Letitia is in the year above us, as is Karina's older sister, who is also a massive bitch, according to Shop. I have no idea why going to the cinema and going skiing is offensive. Also, how would you go skiing during term time with 2 boys? We aren't the sort of school that has ski trips. If we were, I'd have heard about it and avoided it. I hate the cold and I hate too much exercise. Ian came round after school. I made his crinkle cut microchip sandwich and super mousse. He said I'm the 3rd best cook he knows. His nan is the first, obviously, and then his dad. Wednesday, 14th of May. When I wrote yesterday that Donna called Karina a trifling hoe in French, I meant in our French lesson, not in the French language. We haven't done insults yet, but I hope we do. Also, Letitia didn't go actual skiing. Karina was suggesting that she had wanked off 2 boys at the same time in the cinema, which sort of has an action that looks like skiing. Apparently, I've never done either. Why can't people just say what they mean? We had a supply teacher today in chemistry. She used the words problemette and solutionette. We had her first lesson, so she didn't really know what to do with us, which is a problemette. So she wandered off in search of the solutionette. This turned out to be reading a chapter of our textbooks. I partly did this and partly practiced drawing the Anthrax logo. English was my best lesson today. Miss Wallace complimented me on my wide vocabulary and use of flowery language. I had a bit of a problem out after school. Me and Ian were walking to his house and there was a massive thunderstorm and we got soaked. I borrowed a t-shirt from him and I took my wet bra off and left it on his bed to dry. And I also had a pair of terrible navy blue trousers in Ian's room, left over from when Mum wouldn't let me wear jeans to school. So I put these on. Then, once we were dry, we put on Gav's Led Zeppelin Physical Graffiti album and we commenced our usual oral experiments. And then this, dear diary, is where it gets problematical. Ian's dad Terry came upstairs to ask if we wanted a cheese toastie, which we did obviously. But then he looked at the bra, my bra, on Ian's bed. Ian and I were sat at opposite ends of his bed as usual, but Terry gave us a look like he thought we were up to something. In other news, we decided we're going to have no more prog from this day on. We thought Led Zeppelin's Kashmir was okay, but the rest of the album put us to sleep. We put on Creator's Extreme Aggression as an antidote. It's an oasis of noise, and it really can insulate you from all manner of teenage concerns. We practiced windmill headbanging. I would like to report that my chest was jiggling loads, and I had to put my bra back on. But it wasn't, so I didn't. Thursday, 15th of May. I couldn't meet Terry's eye when I could for Ian this morning. Ian said he'd been given the talk, and it was excruciatingly embarrassing. He said his dad told him there would come a time when he noticed women, and it was only natural that he would have certain urges, and that he should respect women, and that means not getting them pregnant and not doing anything in a hurry. Ian never does anything in a hurry. Ian interrupted his dad and said that we got soaked in the rain and so I was wearing his t-shirt to dry off and that we're best mates but nothing more. And then Terry said, "Yeah, but things change, my son, things change." But the thing I love about being mates with Ian is actually things don't change. Other stuff goes wrong, like Mum and Dad splitting up, but me and Ian are solid. Did you know, dear diary, that you can get ravioli that is huge squares and that is not in tomato sauce? We had it for dinner at Jenny's. It was chicken and spinach ravioli in a cheesy sauce. Friday, 16th of May. Right, I finally decided. I would give up potatoes rather than cheese if I really, really had to give one up. Fridays at school are always brilliant. It's like everyone can taste their imminent freedom. We walk out of the school gates into the minty freshness of the weekend, ready to enjoy 2 days of Dionysian pleasure before heading dishevelled back through the gates on Monday morning. This is my flowery language, dear diary. It's pretty good, isn't it? Mum bought me some new sweets today. They're called Haribo Tang Fastics. They're a bit sour and they make you scrunch your face up, but I like them.